There is someone living in the quiet of your mind right now. Not because you invited them, not because you are lonely or reaching for something that does not exist. They are there because something inside you recognized them at a depth so far below thought that your mind is still trying to find words for what your soul already knows. You have felt attraction before. You have felt that electric pull of someone new. But this is not that. This is older than excitement. This is quieter than butterflies. This feels like remembering something you were never supposed to forget. Like a door inside you that has been closed for years, suddenly standing open, and the light coming through it looks exactly like them. That is not fantasy. That is not you romanticizing someone who does not deserve it. That is the part of you that has always known what real feels like, finally recognizing it standing in front of you. But here is what no one tells you when you feel something this certain. Feeling destined for someone and being ready to receive them are two completely different things. And right now, without you even realizing it, something is standing between you and everything this connection is meant to become. Stay with me, because what I am about to tell you will change the way you see everything you are feeling. I want you to do something for a moment. I want you to close the part of your mind that analyzes and just think about this person choosing you. Not halfway, not when it is convenient, fully, completely, without hesitation or conditions or exit routes left quietly open. What happens inside you when you truly let that image land? For most people, and I say this with so much tenderness, there is a flicker of warmth, and then almost immediately beneath it, a whisper, a small, cold, familiar whisper that says, "But what if I am too much? What if they see all of me and decide it is not worth staying for? What if wanting this much makes me foolish?" That whisper is not the truth. That whisper is an old wound that learned to speak in your voice. It is the part of you that was loved inconsistently once, or left without explanation, or taught through someone else's limitations that the safest thing to do with love is to hold it at arm's length before it can hurt you first. And that wound, without you ever choosing it, has been quietly standing between you and every real connection you have ever almost had. This is not about this person. This is about something living inside you that deserves to finally be seen. Because once you see it, really see it, everything between you and this person begins to shift. But what comes next is the part that most people never reach. And it is the most important thing you will hear today. There is something that happens to a person before the love they are truly meant for arrives. It is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not look like a breakthrough from the outside. It looks like an ordinary Tuesday. It looks like a quiet morning where something you used to carry suddenly feels lighter. It looks like a moment where someone says something that would have broken you before, and this time, you simply let it pass. That is not nothing, that is everything. That slow, private, unnamed process of letting go, of releasing the weight of old wounds you carried so long you stopped noticing they were wounds at all. That is the most profound thing a human being can do. Not because it earns you love, not because it makes you more deserving, but because it makes you available. It makes you the kind of person who can stand in front of real love without immediately bracing for it to leave. You have been doing this work, maybe without calling it that, maybe without a single person in your life, acknowledging how hard it has been, but something in you has been opening. Something in you has been quietly, courageously healing, and that opening, that healing, is not separate from this connection you feel. It is the entire reason you are ready to receive it. But ready does not mean the same thing as arrived. And the distance between those two words is exactly where you are living right now. You are in the most sacred space a person can occupy. The space between who you were and who you are becoming. The space where the old version of you is finally loose enough to release. And the truest version of you is close enough to almost touch. This is not a waiting room. This is a becoming room. And everything you feel right now, the longing, the certainty, the ache of something almost within reach, is not evidence that you are behind. It is evidence that you are awake, that you are someone who feels the full weight of what real love means and refuses to settle for anything less. If these words are landing somewhere true inside you, if something in this video is touching a place that has been quietly waiting for permission to breathe, then this is your moment. Hit the like button, subscribe to Psychology Wisdom, because every single video on this channel was made for exactly this person. The one who loves too honestly to pretend. The one who has been through enough to know the difference between almost and real. The one who is finally ready to stop standing at the edge and step fully into the life that has been waiting for them. You are not behind. You are not too much. You are not asking for too much. You are right on time. And what comes next in this story, what is about to be revealed about you and this connection, is something most people never get to understand until it is already too late. Here is the thing about the person who feels like home. They do not feel familiar because you have met before. They feel familiar because they match. Something ancient inside you, something that was shaped long before you had words for it. Long before you understood what it meant to need someone. Long before love taught you its first painful lesson. When two people are truly meant for each other, their wounds rhyme. Not perfectly, not in a way that makes everything easy, but in a way that means each of them understands a silence the other one carries. Each of them knows without being told what it feels like to want something real and be given something hollow instead. That is why this person does not just feel exciting to you. They feel like relief, like you could stop performing, like you could stop editing yourself before speaking. Like you could arrive fully, messily, honestly, and somehow still be held. That feeling is not a lie. Your heart is telling you to protect itself from loneliness. That feeling is recognition. That feeling is two people who have been shaped by the same invisible forces, moving slowly, inevitably, toward the same point. But here's what stands quietly in the way of that recognition becoming something real. Something so simple it almost breaks your heart when you finally see it. The thing standing between you and this connection is not time. It is not distance. It is not circumstance or bad timing or the universe withholding something you deserve. It is one quiet, persistent question that lives somewhere beneath every feeling you have about this person. Do I believe, truly believe, that I am someone worth staying for? Not worth chasing. Not worth wanting in a moment of weakness, worth staying for, worth choosing again on an ordinary Wednesday when nothing is romantic and everything is real. That question is the invisible wall, because the love you are searching for, the kind that does not leave, cannot be built on top of a foundation where one person is secretly waiting to be found out, where one person is loving freely and the other is holding their breath, waiting for the moment it all falls apart. Real love requires two people who have answered that question. Not perfectly, not without doubt, but with enough quiet certainty to stop asking for proof that they deserve to be loved, and simply let themselves be. You are so close to that answer, closer than you know, closer than any version of you that existed a year ago, 2 years ago. Something in you has already begun to believe it, and the moment that belief settles fully, the moment you stop waiting for someone else to confirm what you already know about your own worth, is the moment everything between you and this person changes. I want to tell you something that I hope lands gently, because it is true and it is tender, and you may not have heard it said this clearly before. You did not love wrong. The times you loved and were not chosen, that was never a reflection of your value. The times you felt too much and were made to feel like that was a flaw, that was someone else's inability to hold depth. Not evidence that your depth was a problem. You were never the problem. Loving with your whole chest, feeling everything with that terrifying, beautiful honesty was never something that needed to be dimmed or hidden or quietly apologized for. It was always your greatest gift. And this person, the one you feel this pull toward, they're not going to ask you to make yourself smaller. They are not going to hand you a list of the ways you are too intense, or too open, or too real. They are going to be the first person who looks at everything you have ever been ashamed of and says, "This is exactly what I was looking for." That is not a fairy tale. That is what happens when two people arrive at the same depth at the same time. And you are arriving right now, in ways that are quiet and invisible and more important than anything happening on the surface of your life. Here is what I want you to carry when this ends. You are not waiting because you are not enough. You are not in this in-between space because something is broken in you or missing from you or wrong with the way you love. You are here because real love, the kind that does not unravel, requires both people to arrive, not at the same moment on a calendar, but at the same depth of readiness, the same willingness to be fully seen, the same quiet, courageous decision to stop protecting themselves from the very thing they need most. You are arriving. The shifts happening inside you are not small. They are the entire foundation of what is coming. And what is coming, if you trust this, if you keep doing the quiet, brave work of becoming more yourself, is not just this connection. It is the version of you who can finally stand in it without fear, who can be chosen, completely, clearly, without conditions, and instead of waiting for it to be taken away, simply breathe and say, "I know, I have been becoming this for you." That moment is not a dream. That moment is where all of this has been leading. And you, exactly as you are right now, with everything you have carried and everything you are still learning to put down, you are ready for it. Not almost ready, not one day ready, ready right now, exactly as you are.